the truth behind selling my C8 Corvette Stingray. Let's go. Howdy folks, you on the C8 Corvette Speed 252 show. Scroll over to the right, click that subscribe button and join this awesome community. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of C8 Corvette Speed 252, and I want to thank each and every single one of you, yes, every single one of you all, for pushing that play button today and joining me on this channel. If this is your first time stopping by, well, my name is Clarence and I greatly appreciate you for pushing that play button and watching this video today. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do hit the subscribe button, become part of this awesome community. We all would love to have you. We will all love to grow to 30,000 followers by the end of this year, so please join us in helping us doing that. Also give this video a thumbs up. Go anywhere on your screen or your tablet or whatever, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and definitely leave your comments down below. So as you guys know by the title, I've already sold my C8 Corvette, and I sold it weeks ago. Now I want to give you the reasons why I sold the car. I got a lot of emails saying, hey, why did you sell your car? What made you get rid of it? Did you have any issues? Did you not like it anymore? And so I want to kind of address some of those questions right now within this video. As you guys can see, you know, the silver bullet is still right here. I was going to go out there and make this video today, but it's also raining, so it didn't give me a chance to go out and make this video right there. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make this video right here, right now, inside of the garage. You know, open up the doors to the C7. I'm telling you guys, man, ever since I sold my C8 though, honest the truth, I've been driving this car a whole lot more. And granted, I drove the C8 a lot more when I had it because I truly enjoyed how good that car drove. And I truly appreciate that this car offered me a lot of value. And the C8 did too. Like I said before, like both these cars, the C8 and the C7, literally gives me a different feel when I'm driving. When I'm driving the C8, I feel like I'm driving something like exotic. I feel like I'm driving like a Lamborghini, a McLaren. Even though I've never driven a Lamborghini or McLaren, I'm comparing it to those cars. It just feels good when I'm sitting inside the C8 Corvette. It just feels like a phenomenal beast. And when I get inside the C7, it feels like I'm driving something that's like incredible, that I designed by myself, that I put my own name on it, my own print on it. I designed this thing to how I like. And like I said before, I don't plan on selling this car. This car, in my personal opinion, will be on the channel forever. As long as I have this YouTube channel and I have this car, it will always be on the channel. There ain't but so much you can really do to it other than I can probably pro charge it. I can pull this wrap off, add some more wheels, do some more cosmetic stuff. But at the end of the day, this car is a beast. I really enjoy cranking this bad boy up and seeing the smile it brings to my face and other people's faces. So this car will always continue to be on the channel. So once again, you can see right there, the C8 Corvette Speed 252. This is how this channel got started, with owning this C7 Corvette. But you guys ain't here for C7 Corvette content today. You guys are here to find out why I sold my C8. So I made a little list over there. You guys can see it against the wall. There's more things on that should be added to this list, but I'm going to give you the first one. Start off by saying it was time to sell. It was really time to sell that car. You know, I've owned that car since 2020, March 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I mean, me and Mike was out of Kentucky. I'm doing a Corvette museum delivery. Excited. You guys, that video is on the channel. So for a lot of you haven't seen that video yet, go back and watch that video. Just type in C8 Corvette Speed 252 museum delivery. You will see how excited I was to see that C8 Corvette in person. I mean, even the engineers text me and say, hey man, the way you smile and laugh when you crank that car for the first time, that's what we was expecting. That's what we was looking for. So I just really love that car. And you know, after putting 15,000 miles on it, after driving it all the time, after spending time with my friends and family members and driving back and forth to events and local charity events, like I really loved it. I put a crap ton of miles on. Personal opinion, 15,000 miles isn't a lot for me, but in the Corvette world, 15,000 miles is a lot. So that's what I'm gonna say. I put a lot of miles on it. But, you know, once again, my motto, you guys know, every mile was a smile for me when I was driving that vehicle. But it was time to sell. So, you know, this is now 2022. You know, all the talks about the Z06 is coming out. All the talks about the E-Ray is coming out next year. Let's slide those to the side for a few seconds. Let's talk about how crazy the market is. I mean, literally the market is so crazy. The housing market is crazy. The used car market is crazy. I mean, right now, I feel like I can flip a roll of toilet paper for, you know, 20 bucks a pack if I only paid $10 for it. That's how crazy I think this market is. You can literally flip anything at this point. I can go flip a freaking nail out of my tire and say, hey, I found a nail in my tire. It was free to me, but I sell it to you for $1. I can probably flip it. That's how crazy this market was. So in my personal opinion, number one thing was it was just time to sell the car. As much as I kept contemplating going back and forth, talking with my YouTube buddies about it, talking to some of my family members about it, and just sitting down with myself personally, because, you know, it was one of those things where I truly loved that car. It was my first mid-engine car. I kind of designed it a little bit, you know, to my liking as far as some cosmetic stuff, but I built it from the ground up and saw some pictures from the plant getting across the line. And I just think it was time to sell it. It was time to figure out, okay, how much money can I get for this car, right? It was either I could private sell it myself, which you guys know I made a YouTube video about it to put it on the channel to try to give it to a follower of the channel who was interested in it. But, you know, the office was going back and forth, and every time that, you know, somebody would contact me about the car, they would ask the same questions, whether or not the car was either sold or what's the specs and all that stuff. And I answered all that in the video. So just got one into those things where like, let me figure something out. And so at that time I was driving around and the dealership pretty much saying, hey, we'll give you what you pay for it. I'm like, well, you know, I'm not one of these guys that's going to try to, you know, get over on someone. They say, you know, some guy, it's an older guy who really wants the car, but he really doesn't want to pay MSRP over MSRP for any other vehicle, and you have a used one that's in good shape, and he'll give you what you pay for. And I'm thinking like, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm all about, you know, seeing somebody else enjoy something. I'm not all about raising the stakes and getting a lot of money out of people. So, hey, if you're going to give me what I pay for it, then sure, why not, right? He offered that. I paid 84, he paid me 82. I was really happy with that. So the car is now gone, is now, you know, driven by somebody else. And, you know, I haven't seen it around here, but I really appreciate what that car has brought to me, this channel, the family, and all the experiences I had with driving that C8 Corvette. The number two thing that we can actually see on this list, I don't know if you can see this list from there, but I'll just point it off, that I did all I could with the car. What I mean I did all I could with the car, a lot of people are gonna say, well, there was a ton of things you could have done to the car. You could have supercharged, you could have pro-charged, you could have twin turboed it, and all this extra stuff. That is very true. That is very, very true. You guys are very true. The reason why I decided not to pro-charge it, supercharge it, do all these extra things to the car is because I personally knew since buying that car, I was gonna sell it. Give you a perfect example. When I bought this car right here, I knew for a fact that I was going to customize it to my liking. I didn't, you know, think I was gonna go as far as doing a custom chrome wrap with it, to be honest with you. I knew I was gonna change the wheels, do the exhaust, but I didn't think I was gonna do this to this car. And once I did this to this car, my personal opinion, I couldn't get rid of it because I specialized in myself. Now, if it came down to like, you know, my dream car, which is a Lamborghini, right? And, you know, I really want this Lamborghini, and the one thing that's probably keeping me from getting that Lamborghini is the C7. Will I sell it? Possible. But I may just try to see if I can save up some more money to buy my dream car to keep this car in the garage. That's always my first ever Corvette sports car that I've ever owned. So I probably would not sell it, but I would try to figure out those options when the time comes. But regarding the C8, I feel like I could do all I could to the car. I didn't see the need of pro charging it, twin turbo, or any of that stuff, because if I did that, it may be possible hard to sell. None of us knew that COVID was going to hit and it was going to change the market like that. For instance, think about it. Say for instance, COVID didn't happen, right? And Chevrolet had all their parts, all their chips, no strike, none of that stuff went on. Chevrolet would probably have built as many of those cars as they wanted to. At that point, their car would not have been as valued as much as it is right now. But since everything became a rare commodity, that car value went up. And if I would have just twinkled with it just a little bit by pro charging it, and then it broke down, and my factory warranty would have been gone. It'd be totally different if I did like a pro charger in this, right? Because in this car, people have done pro chargers, superchargers for many, many years, since 2014. So if something goes wrong, I can tell them to take it off and take it back to stock. Yes, I'll lose my warranty, but at the same time, they can put this car back in its original state. Whereas with my C8, that wasn't the case. You know, street speeding those guys, I love them. But them twin turbo in their cars and all that great stuff, like they have the money, the funds, everything you can ask for, the contacts to, you know, blow the motor up, take it apart, put it back together, and sell it. I don't have those resources. So that's why I said I feel like I have done everything I can do with that car as far as, you know, customizing the way I wanted to. If I would have wrapped it, then I would have felt like I needed to keep it because I just put that money in there. And for me, like, I just decided maybe not to just do all the extra stuff. Now, a future car could be different, but I know with the C8 Stingray, it was best to just enjoy it, drive it, change the wheels, change it in the cover, do a few other things like that to make it feel like it's my own, but know that I'm not doing too much. I know the next person will love it just as much as I did. Please forgive me for any of my words that could be slurring, because I talk a little fast. I'm excited to be back on camera again, and I'm really so to just be talking to you guys. So back to the list. Number 3, we have, once again, the market was hot. Man, the C8 Corvettes are selling like hot cakes. I'm talking about hot cakes, like popcorn. It's just crazy how the C8 was selling. I mean, when I first bought mine, once again in 2020, I knew that car was hot. We all knew that car was hot, but it was only a certain amount of people who was able to get their hands on that car. And once COVID hit and the strike and all this stuff, I mean, the car became a hot, even more hot commodity, because for guys who really didn't even want the C8 in the beginning, I guarantee you there's a lot of guys out there who this comment may resonate with some of you. I don't know. I was like, I'm not buying that C8 Corvette. That's not a real Corvette. I'm not buying it at all. The Corvette was front engine car. I'm not buying it. But as soon as they saw one in person for the first time, or got a chance to sit behind the wheel of one, they was like, you know what? I think I may buy a Corvette after all. You know that new mid engine platform? I think I may get one of those. And that alone made the car even hotter, because for people who didn't want it, decided they wanted even more. And on top of that, Chevrolet wanted to build this car right-hand drive. So you got people in other countries who wanted this car. So it just became that big of a deal so quickly that Chevrolet couldn't keep up with demand. Heck, they still can't keep up with demand right now. Think about it. They still cannot keep up with demand of this car. Just being honest, it's just that hot of a vehicle. Now, I'm starting to see a lot more on the road. I was driving with some of my buddies yesterday, day before yesterday, and I've seen like 2 or 3 C8s like that. Whereas in the past, in 2020, 2021, I didn't see that many C8 Corvettes out there. So now, as I'm starting to sit back and think about it, the more C8s I'm starting to see, the more I can see Chevrolet actually getting able to produce more of these things. Even though there's still an issue with, you know, the chip issue, which I guess one of the chip things I heard recently is if you don't order the Z51 package, you're less likely not going to get magnetic ride. So with that being said, they're becoming more strict on what things you can actually buy regards to the C8 Corvette, which is pretty interesting. You know, shortage, can't get my words out. It's forcing Chevrolet to make some harsh decision on whether or not what actual attributes you can put inside your vehicle. And we stroll over here to the list. Again, number 4 is to somewhat prepare for the Z06. Now, that's the reason why I'm also making this video, because a lot of you all thought that, oh, he sold his car for the Z06 too soon. He's selling his car for the Z06. And I want to put those rumors, or somewhat rumors, to bed with this video. I didn't sell my car just for the Z06. As you guys know, I am a huge Corvette fan. I would love to own a Z06. But we don't know much about that car at this point. We don't know when it's actually going to be built, right? We hear things that's going to be built in May. We heard things are going to be built in August of this year. We have no clue when that car is coming. And I know a lot of people sold their C7s in the past for when the C8 came out, right? And they thought the C8 was going to start be building on this time frame, and it got pushed back to 8-9 months later. So it's one of those things where I didn't sell my car for the Z06. What I learned was in my acting class and through other things, if you do something for something else and you feel like you made a wrong mistake, it's going to haunt you a little bit, right? So I didn't want to sell my C8 just because of the Z06. What I wanted to do was sit down and give myself reasons for why I wanted to sell my car. If it was just for the C8 Z06, that was the wrong reason for selling it, right? For my personal opinion, I came up with all the reasons personally for why I needed to sell that car. So it just wasn't because I was sitting around waiting for the Z06. Although we all are still waiting for the Z06, we all do want the Z06 and we all want to be able to own that bad boy and drive it. I just didn't sell my car for the Z06. So with that being said, you guys, I want to put that to rest and say that that was a small reason why I sold the car. It was because of the Z06, but it wasn't the biggest reason why I sold the car. We head over to the list. And another reason I sold the car, which is number 5, is I sold it because of acting. As you guys know, I've been pursuing acting now since 2020. I love acting. It's so much fun, right? And I feel like God has blessed me to really do this. It wasn't like I grew up wanting to be an actor. You guys know, at some point I really need to get down and write out like my life journey so you guys can know where I came from. I came from the slum of the slums. I lived on Section 8. I lived in the projects. We had roaches all the time. You know, we had, roaches all over our food. I never believed I can even own a sports car, let alone a house. Like, I never even thought any of this stuff was for me. I just literally thought as a kid, I was gonna always live in the ghetto unless I went to the NBA, right? I wanted to go to the NBA. I wanted to be that kid that bought my mom a house. I played basketball every single day. I grind, I ran in the rain. I drove the basketball in the rain. I cried a lot. I was just so upset of kind of how I kind of grew up and thinking that, you know, I would never be able to attain these things. And so as I've gotten older and realized like God had wanted me to learn how to be a basketball player, not to go to the pros, but to get further in my life. Because without basketball, I don't think I would be here to this day. So with basketball, it helped me get to, you know, through middle school, through high school, through college, and it helped me get to where I'm at right now. But what I realized, you know, after owning my business and starting a YouTube channel, you know, owning my business kind of helped out a lot. You know, being on YouTube now has kind of helped me be on the camera like I am face to face right now. And now all I need now is the tools of acting, a good solid camera crew, director, writer, and bring that piece of work to life. And, you know, auditioning is hard. Acting is hard. It's not easy by any means. You know, the emotions, that's why I took time off from YouTube for about, you know, 6 or 7 months, because you guys know I'm an energetic person. I'm so happy to be on camera. I'm so excited to talk to you all. But with acting, you know, we had to talk about, you know, a real life stuff. It wasn't just stuff that you just, you know, pluff and like, oh, well, we can talk about this and that. No, it was real life, deep heartening stuff. Like, you know, with my dad not being around as a kid growing up, and, you know, him not being around for like I was pointless or worthless, I shouldn't be here. And, you know, after taking the acting class, I realized like, no, God wanted me to be here regardless of who else didn't want me to be here. So it was one of those things where, you know, acting taught me a lot about life, a lot of the reason why I'm here. And so for me, as much as I travel for acting right now, like I go back and forth to Atlanta, I go to other places in the United States to audition. I just started auditioning. So just started auditioning, started taking a few classes. I'm in school right now, kind of in 2 acting programs, but there are sometimes when I get invited to other acting programs, some other teachers saying, hey, come out and visit me and take some of my courses. So I'm doing something related to acting every single day. And I realized that as much as I love that C8 Corvette, and I knew that I was going to sell it at some point, it didn't make sense to keep that car longer than I needed to be. And those funds that I was making once a month, you know, monthly payment, because it wasn't paid off, I don't have that type of money, to the C8 Corvette, I could apply to acting as far as traveling with gas and going to an audition and trying to get that part that I need to get. And I just recently stumbled upon some parts that I've auditioned for lately that I've gotten thus far, which is super exciting. It's not huge movies, it's kind of short film stuff. You got to build a resume. And, you know, my ego is like, I want to be there right now, right? That's me. I want to be there right now. But my friends are always keeping me calm, cool, and collected. It's like, hey, you got to start somewhere. You got to do the small projects now that will lead up to the big projects. And my goal have always been with my small business, with my YouTube channel, and now with acting, that I want to be the best role model I can possibly be for anybody who's ever watching me as a YouTuber, as an actor, or as a business owner. That's it. I want to be the best role model I can be. I pray about it every single day. I want to be the best role model, the best actor, the best business owner, the best YouTuber I can possibly be. That's all I can ask for. So with that being said, that was another reason why I actually sold the C8, because of acting. And the last and final reason I'm going to give you in this list right now that you guys are going to be crazy shocked about is that I'm actually bringing a new car to the channel. Now, I'm not going to announce the car right now. I'm going to talk about it later on in a few episodes from this point, but I am bringing a new car to the channel. I'm super excited for it. I haven't bought a new car to the channel for a while, other than the C8 Corvette back in 2020. And you guys know I had this car on the channel. I had the Blaze on the channel for a little bit because I paid $1,000 for it, so I want to talk about it. But yes, there will be a new car coming to the channel here at some point. So once again, you guys, I'm looking forward to bringing that car to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you for watching this upload. I'm sorry to get all a little teary-eyed, personal, whatever in this video. More than that to come, be honest with you. And just, you know, think of it, that subscribe button. Thank you for giving this video a thumbs up. And I appreciate each and every single one of you for just watching this video and being supportive and being patient with the videos, and, you know, understanding that, you know, acting is something I really love. And every once in a while the videos will be put behind, but they're coming out as fast as I can possibly get them. And I'm looking forward to having you guys part of this community. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. And once again, thank you for supporting the channel. I'll see you again in another episode of C8 Speed 252.